Oh, those Seattle Mariners. At least we know somewhere buried deep inside of them, they are still capable of winning a baseball game. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome into the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. The Mariners crush the Oakland A's tonight 16-3. A touchdown and 3 field goals for the Mariners beats the field goal that the A's put up. The Mariners explode for a nice easy victory tonight over the A's. And it's nice to see the team back in the W column as they are back to 500 at 70-70. It's been really frustrating week of Mariners baseball, not only the losses, just, seeing how toxic this team, maybe not so much the team, but front office ownership has just kind of become here. At least for one day on the field, it's nice to see them put up a good performance and get a strong W. Before I go any further, again, thank you all so much for the support. Again, 2,000 views for a game about a team that lost in Oakland, fell to 69-70 yesterday. Cannot thank you all enough for all the likes. If you guys can do me a favor, keep hitting that like button. Hit subscribe if you're new or lurking, and go ahead and comment your thoughts on this team down below. But yeah, at least for today, the best cure for anything in sports is winning. You can have turmoil, you can have other things, you can find a way to get W's. It fixes a lot of issues, and one win does not fix all this team's issues. But it was nice to see them win this game, wasn't it? Like, it felt good to watch win. I talked about it yesterday. Team's frustrating. I don't blame anybody that's checked out at all. But for some of us, still watching this, it's nice to see them win. It's nice to sit down, have a beer, whatever it is you drink, and watch this team win a baseball game. It just feels better. And today was a really impressive win. And hopefully, hopefully with 22, 23 games left, this team can get on, one more hot streak and, maybe somehow make it interesting the last week of the season. I'm not saying they're going to, but maybe they can. And it's going to need a, 6, 7, 8 game winning streak, or 9 out of 10, something like that. Hopefully this was the start of it. I've said that 20 times this year. I'm not expecting it, but the eternal optimist that I try to be, sometimes I just hold out a little bit of hope. Let's get into the box score tonight. I'm going to make it a quick recap. It's almost 11 o'clock here, so I'm going to get out of here pretty quickly. Nice bounce back start from George Kirby. He's had a few tough outings in a row. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, no walks, 9 Ks. Looked like it was going to be another one of those games, right? First batter, Lawrence Butler doubles. Then Brent Rooker singles, and it's 1-0 Oakland. I'm thinking, here we go again, and the Mariners are going to lose this one again to the A's, and it's just going to be another frustrating game. Offense isn't going to put up a lot of runs or big numbers or anything, and you just feel, right? 2 batters in, you're like, here we go again. But nice job by Kirby to bounce back. He got out of a tough spot, I want to say, in the 5th inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd and nobody out, and wiggled around that jam, I should say. So good to see. 9 strikeouts, really solid, no walks. Good bounce back start from Kirby. Like I said, a couple starts against Detroit have been frustrating. Wasn't great against San Francisco. Struggled last time out against the Angels. So just good to see George Kirby hopefully getting back on the right track. And hopefully Kirby can finish this season strong. Tough to judge the bullpen today, because by the time they came in, the game was, 12-2. Chargois gives up a run in 2/3 of an inning. Saucedo gets a strikeout in a 1/3 of an inning. Bizzardo and Diaz each with a shutout inning and 2 strikeouts apiece. Again, tough to judge relievers, when they're pitching with 12, 13 run leads, but good to see. Diaz is just kind of your typical 4A pitcher, lefty guy that can, make a spot start or 2 for you. I am still a little intrigued by Bizzardo. You guys have known I've kind of been a Bizzardo truther, backer, whatever you want to say. Obviously, that one game in Texas, the infamous one that he almost blew, the 5-6 run lead, was atrocious. But you take that out. You shouldn't. But if you do, his numbers actually been pretty solid. And I think he's been really good since then. Now, he was down in the minors for a lot of that too. But, overall, I think he's been better since then. I think it's kind of been that one bad outing. But, there is a plus slider there, a fastball with some life. As we get to the tail end of the season here, and it appears that Andres Munoz, we talked about some shoulder fatigue. You almost wonder to just shut him down for the season at this point. Your bullpen's thin, right? You got Austin Voth, Colin Snyder. Troy Taylor looks pretty solid. give Bizzardo a couple high leverage situations. I'm not against getting anybody a trial run here that you have that's got a live arm and is young and can maybe make an impact for you in 2025. So that's what I've got for the pitching. Good to see a nice bounce back from George Kirby. How about the offense today? 16 hits, 16 runs, 4 walks, only 6 strikeouts. Where have you been, Seattle Mariners? Where have you been, my friends? And really the bottom of the lineup getting it done. Robles 3 for 4, Garver 2 for 5, Urias 3 for 4 with the walk, Dylan Moore 2 for 4. Top of the order, kind of quiet. JP did have a hit, 1 for 6, scored a run. Julio 1 for 6 with an RBI single. Cal Raleigh 1 for 5 with 2 runs scored and a walk. So, not great games, but JP on base, Julio on base, Cal on base twice. Everybody with a hit today for the Mariners. Nice game from Arozarena, 2 for 4, 3 runs scored and the 2-run double. Justin Turner had a base hit with a couple runs scored and a walk. Like I said, great game for Victor Robles, 3 hits and a walk. Got that OPS back up to 759. Talked about Robles a few times here. Obviously a hot start. Well, didn't play a lot with the Mariners, then got that hot start. Looked like he was tailing off, but now he's on another hot streak, and really good to see, because that was one of my concerns too. Like, Victor Robles is cooling off. He's not going to be a very, the numbers are going to cool off. The Linsanity run is over, but it's nice to see Robles kind of bounce back from the first kind of hiccup and produce some pretty good numbers for the team, which is really good to see. I'd still prefer probably him right now over JP in the leadoff spot, but I'm also kind of at the point where I'm just done looking at those things and really making a big deal out of them. And I'm not going to criticize the lineup too much on a day when they scored 16 runs. Good game for Mitch Garver, 2 for 5, I think, double and a base hit, 4 RBIs. Getting the start against a lefty. Garver's numbers have been pretty good against lefties this year. There is some value in that bat, and if he can catch, did he catch today or did? No, he DH'd today. So Mariners been facing more lefties, and just good to see. Good to see good at bat from Garvey. Had a double the other night in LA. It's not saying much, but good to see a productive night from Garver. And remember, he's under contract for next year. So it is important to see him finish strong for a couple reasons. One, if you do try and trade him, I do think there's some trade value considering he can catch. But also, he's maybe your backup catcher next year, because John Stanton probably ain't eating $12 million. So anything you can see and get out of Garver is going to be important for this team. So good to see him have a nice game. I want to be clear too, just so everybody knows, because sometimes I hear in the comments, I'm not claiming that Garver having a good game today or anybody having a good game means like, oh my gosh, these guys are great. I'm just talking about today. It was nice to see good performances from these guys, is all I'm saying. Luis Urias, 3 for 4, a home run, a double, 2 doubles actually, and a home run. So slugging, getting it done today. 4 RBIs and a walk. So Urias on base 4 times. Urias is kind of an interesting one to me because, he was sent down in late May and just brought back up essentially here for September call-ups. And Urias was I was a little surprised kind of how quickly they moved off of him. Certainly, I'm not going to defend that Urias was amazing or anything, but his numbers against lefties were pretty decent in April and May. But then he had to play a lot against righties because JP was hurt. So Rojas was playing second. Demo was at short. So Urias was having to play a lot every day. And I thought the numbers really dipped off for Urias when he was kind of overexposed and playing every day. I was just kind of surprised they moved off of him so quickly. Not trying to say Luis Urias is a great player, but, he is a guy that can hit left-handed pitching. We see it tonight with a really big game from him. So, another guy that might be kind of curious to see how he finishes up the season. I'm not sure if he's under control for any longer. I really don't know his contract status. And again, 11:15 at night, I'm not going to look it up. But, I think any hitter that can show you something down the stretch is a good sign. So a nice game for Luis Urias for sure. Really good to see. And Dylan Moore, 2 for 4, had a double and a base hit and a couple RBIs. So truthfully, the only guys really that didn't do much today were JP was on base once, and so was Julio. I think everybody else was on base a minimum of 2 times. Cal on base twice, Randy twice, Turner twice, Robles 3. Yeah, everybody minus JP and Julio reached base at least 2 times. So really a great offensive performance for the Mariners. Probably a little too late, but still good to see, and hopefully a sign of, maybe things to come here in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, I'm certainly not going to hold out hope that it's going to happen, but I think in the back of your mind, you're always hoping maybe it is. Maybe this is the start of just some 10-game win streak. that pulls them right back in it. Me and Mariners, so we're talking about the Mets, who are a half game out now. I think just a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago or so, they were down 5.5, and they've won 7 in a row, and they've pulled themselves back into contention. I'm not trying to get everybody to buy back in. I'm not. I do not think the Seattle Mariners are going to make the playoffs. And truthfully, I haven't even looked at the standings the last few days, nor have I even talked about at the beginning of my recaps like I used to. But, if you can get like maybe a 7-8 game winning streak going, you play Houston at the end of September, or the wild card stuff as well. Maybe you can get it to 2 or 3 back, and at least give yourself a shot, right? That's all kind of looking for, a series where you have a shot to do something. So, it's like I said, it's going to take a winning streak that I don't see happening. But, the great thing about sports is there's always that little bit of optimism they can give you at any point. And tonight was a night for that. It might be gone tomorrow. It might be gone at 4:30 tomorrow afternoon. But at least for tonight, a nice win for the Seattle Mariners, a fun one to enjoy. A good, easy victory on a week that's, like I said, not only been bad on the field, but some of the turmoil and frustrations off the field, and just struggles and frustration, like I said, ownership, front office, coaching staff, all the issues. I'm talking previous coaching staff. Dan has, been here a couple weeks. It's an organization that's a mess. It really is. It's a mess of an organization right now. I hate to say that about my favorite team, but they are. But at least for tonight, it wasn't. The mess was the amount of runs that the Mariners put up. So good to see. Have a great night, everybody. Remember to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys and gals all tomorrow for another post-game recap. Hopefully a winning streak of 2 in a row for the Mariners. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. And as always, go Mariners. Peace.